Alright, y'all, I'm just gonna jump right into it and give y'all hopefully a very distilled message within a 10-minute time frame. This is a presentation, a distilled presentation of what I'm gonna share at an event coming up. But it's basically my plan of how to of how to save the world. So if you want to hear my plan for how to save the world, this is going to be about 10 minutes. So I just got out of a doctor's appointment at UPMC Hospital, and it reignited the fire within me, which is just that our mainstream society is so freaking lost when it comes to health. And I have had many health issues in my life, so I know the difference between being extremely unhealthy and being pretty dang healthy, which I am today. You know, I can do 20 consecutive pull-ups. I can do like 50 push-ups. I'm a pretty healthy guy, and I'm so immensely grateful for my health because I know what being profoundly unhealthy is like. And I got myself into that hole because I have type 1 diabetes, which is an autoimmune condition, and I didn't take good care of it, and I almost died because of it. But the message is, I was just at the hospital, UPMC, supposedly one of the best hospitals in the world. It's got all the ratings. In their cafe is all the crap that is making everybody sick in the first place. Mountain Dew, Doritos. Mountain Dew has like 50 grams of sugar in it. People just pound this. You shouldn't even have 50 grams of sugar in probably like two days, and people just pound this stuff. So it's like our mainstream society has normalized profound sick behaviors that keep us unhealthy and toxic. And why is this? Why is our society so unhealthy? I believe that one of the main reasons is because we've created a system that the top priority is making money over people's health, over the planet's health, over whatever. If your top priority is making money over everything else, then that means you're going to cut corners every possible way to just fucking make money and not care about anybody's health. And that's our whole society is based on this. So the fire is lit within me. I was just at the hospital. It's like all these pastries, donuts, vanilla pudding with 50 grams of sugar. Like, most people who don't have diabetes don't know what sugar like really does to your body. But when you have 50 grams of sugar, it just like completely creates inflammation all throughout your body. So the whole thing is that our society is profoundly sick. And why is that? So I'm going to lay it out for you as simply as I can. There's two trees next to each other. One tree is an absolutely dying tree with the leaves are falling off, the branches are dying. And then the other tree is this thriving, beautiful tree with huge flowers, and it's just magnificent. So we got these two trees, and we're looking at them, and they're like, why is the one tree dying and the one tree thriving? And so to me, the dying tree represents all the things that are broken within our society. So you can see the branches of the dying tree represent the broken education system, the broken healthcare system, the broken political system, the broken environmental systems. And why are all these systems broken? Because there's a root system underneath it, which represents all of our dysfunctional belief systems, which give rise to a society that is so dysfunctional. These dysfunctional belief systems include money is the top priority, aka the definition of capitalism. Value profit over caring about people, the environment, whatever. There's other belief systems that create toxicity, like believing that we're separate from nature, believing that we can dominate nature. There's all these toxic belief systems which give rise to a toxic tree, aka a toxic society. But on the other side of the hand, you have this thriving tree, which is like the new paradigm, the new earth. And it has a new root system, which represents all the new belief systems, which actually give rise to a holistic, healthy world. And this is already starting to happen in a zillion different ways. And so the branches of the thriving tree represent, Waldorf education, a thriving education system, a thriving healthcare system, a thriving environmental, system of working with nature. So we got these dying tree and this positive thriving tree. That's the framework I want to lay out. For me, having this lens is very empowering because you can clearly see like that's the paradigm that's not working, and that's the paradigm that we're giving our energy to. And it's not very helpful to give all your energy towards fighting the old dying tree, but you want to give your energy towards the good tree. But we also need to be able to pinpoint what's broken within the dying tree so that we don't repeat our mistakes and we actually get on to this holistic paradigm. And so me being in the hospital and being like, look, you're supposed to be getting people healthy and you're feeding them fucking Mountain Dew. Like, what is going through your freaking brain? Like, it's literally 50 grams of corn syrup. No one in their possible right mind could even fathom that that's possibly good for anyone. It's literal insanity, but this is the problem. We've all been so normalized to the insanity that we just think it's normal. Oh, it's totally normal to give your kid a pudding with 50 grams of sugar for lunch. Yeah, let's just keep doing it. It's like, there's this quote that says, if you hear a lie 100 times, it becomes a truth. And that's literally what our society has been doing for the last 50 to 100 years. And we have all been literally brainwashed to think this shit is normal. But guys, it's not fucking normal. Like, we need to wake up. And so I've been on this mission for 15 years now to try to show people that there is an alternative paradigm to everything that's broken within society. There is an alternative, and many people are giving their energy towards it. So how do we support this thriving tree? To me, there's 3 basic steps you could give towards supporting this new paradigm. The first step is simply just witnessing and observing what is working in the world. And just by giving your energy to it, by witnessing it, you're fueling it a little bit. Say you see someone that's like, you know, building a beautiful community garden. Just by like witnessing it and hanging out there, you're giving positive energy to it. That's step 1, is just witness it. But step 2 is helping to amplify it. So like telling the story, like, hey guys, I saw this community garden in my neighborhood. I'm going to go on Facebook and I'm going to write about it. I'm going to spread the word about it. So step 2 is to storytell and spread the word about anyone and anything that is supporting that new paradigm, that new tree. That amplifies it and helps it grow. Step 3, which is the most powerful, is when you co-create. You literally give your head, hands, and heart towards supporting this thriving tree, this new paradigm. And so that could be helping out at the community garden. That could be volunteering there. And it could also be replicating it in your neck of the woods. Maybe you go to this community garden and you learn how to replicate it. So literally, guys, that 3-step formula could totally transform the world. If we first go to every example that's demonstrating something positive, you first observe it, witness it, see that it's beautiful, just affirm it. Like, hey guys, you guys are doing awesome over here. That's step 1. Step 2 is when you actively spread the word about it. Put it on your social media, tell your friends and family, help it go viral, whatever. That's step 2. Step 3 is when you actually involve yourself. You get into co-creation and you get into replication. So you find a formula that works and you spread it. And literally, this has been happening for many years, and I've been pouring my heart and soul into trying to document examples of people doing this new paradigm, doing this new earth. And there's thousands of examples of it. Like, literally, I've put together a database online that's totally free of over 1,000 videos of examples of people demonstrating different models of this new paradigm. So there's literally no excuses for anyone to not get involved, to not know that it's happening. It's just a matter of putting our energy into it and recognizing how profoundly sick the mainstream society is. It pains me. I mean, I walked into CVS and their motto is it says, don't just get healthy, get thriving. That's CVS's motto. What does CVS have at their freaking cash registers? It has 90 different candy bars, which will all poison you. They're filled with artificial flavors. What are artificial flavors? They're made of petroleum. They're putting weird chemical shit in here to save like 2 cents so their CEO can be a fucking trillionaire and us normal people get cancer because of this shit. Like, there's thousands of documented studies to show that artificial flavors cause cancer. Everyone's like peeing their pants over like, hey, let's find the cure for cancer. The cure for fucking cancer is stop eating artificial flavors. Like, it's just fucking, I mean, obviously that's not the only factor, but like many of these things are really obvious if you just take a sober look at it. Like, it's not rocket science. You know, I recommend everyone look into the concept of permaculture. It's a way to use the principles of nature to design gardens and homes and everything so that you're more in harmony with nature. But like one of the founders of permaculture said, the problems of our world are becoming increasingly complex, but the answers remain embarrassingly simple. And like, that is just a mic drop quote, because so much of how we heal the world is incredibly simple. We don't need crazy gadgets. We don't need whatever. We need people to come to their freaking senses, stop drinking Mountain Dew and putting them in hospitals thinking that it's healthy. My phone says I got a slow connection, so maybe this is skipping, but I'm giving it my shot to share this message while I'm freaking fired up, because anger is a fuel, is a positive fuel if we channel it in a good way. And it does make me angry because I literally know how brutally awful it is to be suffering with health issues. And there are people in these hospitals that are having food brought to them every day that is poisoning them. Like, can we just grasp how bad that is? You know, like they brought me, when I was in the hospital, they bring me food with like absurd levels of sodium. So like eating too much sodium screws up everything in your body. And like mainstream society has just normalized stuff having just absurd amounts of salt in it, which gives us inflammation. It gives us a zillion problems. So I'm just trying to lay out for you guys my basic frameworks for how we can heal the world. Having that, the two trees metaphor of the dying tree representing everything that's broken in society, and the thriving tree next to it representing all the alternatives that are actually working for people, that are helping people get healthy in mind, body, and spirit. There's literally a zillion examples. Like, there's no excuses to not getting involved. And if you ever want a recommendation, I consider myself a librarian of the internet. I could literally send you videos to keep you busy for like a year straight. Like, I've been freaking balls to the walls passionate about this stuff for like 15 years. And I'm always scared that I'm going to overwhelm people because like, I've been so into this stuff because I know how much it sucks to suffer. And it just breaks my heart to see society giving people suffering as the normal thing when we don't have to be. We're not designed to be in fucking chronic pain and depression. Like, it's because we live in a toxic environment. Like, shout out Gabor Mate wrote a book called The Myth of Normal. That's literally the whole thing, is that we've been given this myth that like all this toxic stuff is just normal, but it's not. We've created a very sick society. Clearly we're doing some things well, but you know, there's so many aspects to our society that we could fairly easily change if more people just got on board with it. And one simple example is having healthy, non-toxic food in hospitals, which is, you know, the thing that sparked me to even make this video. But I could talk forever about this stuff. I literally have like 600 videos on YouTube that I've made, and then another freaking 2,000 that I've compiled from other people that I'm happy to share with anyone, anytime, because I absolutely believe that we can heal this world pretty freaking quickly if enough people just wake up and stop playing along with all the toxicity that we're taught as normal. I mean, don't even get me started on the news. Bless my parents. I love my parents, but like, most people in my parents' generation are like, we've got to watch the news to stay informed. Okay, let's devote 3 hours at least every single day to being fed fear, toxic commercials. Like, do you know what that does to your brain? It's just, it's horrifying when you really take a step back from it. So like, we don't need to watch the news. We don't even need to know if it's raining tomorrow unless we're having an event. Like, step one, turn off the mainstream news. Any of you guys that are watching this probably don't watch the news. But I mean, it's brutal to just see what they're propagating on mainstream news. So, anywho, to wrap it all up once again, the main intention of this video is to give this framework of a dying tree next to a thriving tree. The dying tree represents all the broken things in our society that aren't working, and the root system of that dying tree represents all the flawed belief systems that are causing people to value profit over people, over the environment, over ourselves. And then the thriving tree represents all of the holistic paradigms that have been blossoming for many years, and the 3-step formula for encouraging those holistic paradigms. The first step is just to witness them, to know they exist, to affirm them, to be like, hey, community garden, you guys are doing awesome. The second step is to be a storyteller about it, to help spread the word so more people know about things like community gardens, using social media, just using word of mouth. And then the third step is to actually get involved in these holistic paradigm things and replicate them. If it's working somewhere, it could probably work somewhere else. So this movement is absolutely happening. It's so big, it doesn't fit under any one banner, but I like to call it the transformational culture movement because it's all about transforming our entire society. And I've actually been building, I'm getting all sweaty here in my car, but it's a nice free sauna. So I've actually been building a network because I believe that we need every city in the world to have like a database so that if you're going to drive through Chicago, you could just log on and be like, oh, there's an event tonight, an ecstatic dance. Oh, there's this happening. So like this thriving tree of all the alternatives, my goal is to have a database so that anyone in any city can find out what's happening in their area. And so we're starting on a very basic level of just listing like some basic resources for every city. So if you're in like Louisiana or something and you know of some cool stuff, send me a message and I'll add that to the database of Louisiana. I literally have every state and city in America already laid out, starting to put down the like Facebook groups to find in that area. Cause it just breaks my heart when people don't even know that there's good, positive stuff happening in their area. There's literally thousands of people this millisecond sitting there like completely depressed, completely hopeless, because they don't know that the alternative is possible. They're stuck in that dying tree. They don't know that the thriving tree is even possible. And I just feel so blessed that I've been able to experience this thriving tree. And that's why every single day I try to like shout from the rooftops about, yo guys, there's an alternative. There's a different way to do things. You don't have to wake up and chug a freaking Mountain Dew. You can like drink some nettle tea and it's like equally valid. Like everything we've created. Okay, this is my final statement before I end this. I said I would keep it to 10 minutes. That was probably a failure. I don't even know how long it's been. But my final statement is that our enemy, there's really no enemy. It's just stories. All we're up against is freaking stories, because everything in our society, all it is a story. A bunch of people got together and they said, this is what we're going to do. This is the story we're going to build into existence. Besides the freaking laws of physics, nothing else in this reality is anything except stories. And to me, that's very empowering, because everything we've created was based on a certain story, and that means we can create something different based on a different story. And there's 1,000 examples of people living a different story out there. If your personal story isn't working for you, or if society's story isn't working for you, create a new story, change it up, link up with other people. It becomes more powerful when we all co-create a story together. So that's my final statement. Everything is stories besides the laws of physics, and we can change those stories. So peace. If you're just tuning in now, maybe watch the replay. Feel free to share this if you think other people would benefit from it. And yeah, we're just getting started. So thank you, hospitals, for having Mountain Dew and Doritos and igniting my fire to make this video. I had zero plans of making a video. I haven't even been live on Facebook in a long time because I'm working on a zillion projects. But I love you guys. I have faith in humanity. Like, it would be the lamest story ever to have, like, fucking Mountain Dew Doritos team lose to, like, the most amazing garden meal nettle tea. Like, Mountain Dew Doritos team is just lame. Like, you guys suck. Anyways, yeah, so y'all are awesome, and feel free to leave a comment, a question. If you do want to check out my zillion videos I recommend, just go to my YouTube channel, type in Healing is Cool, or go to my website, which is sacredstoryweavers.net. There's literally links to keep you busy for freaking 10 years on there. So there's no excuses. There's no boredom allowed. It's just about, in my opinion, you know, harmoniously feeding that thriving tree. And if enough people do that, then we'll all live in a completely different world. You know, we're the ones, us humans are the ones running this system. So we've got the power, and let's keep it moving. Peace.